So, for those of you who don't know, Tawney is my wood fae alchemist from Underworld Xenostrand, game in Saskatoon. Well, it's not in Saskatoon, but it's near Saskatoon. And if you live in the Saskatchewan area, you should check it out. Or the Edmonton area, even. Or we got one guy who frequently comes in from Manitoba. You should definitely. Anyway, you just go there. But, yes. Yeah. Tawney is my wood fae character. She's a dope. She's innocent. She's all about the naps and the snacks. Um, and ever making everybody friends with everybody. But last game, at the end of the game, her family, her entire family, got kidnapped. Got kidnapped after they helped us by the Winter Court Fae and taken into the Fae realm. I know. Harsh. Harsh times. So Tawney had to get serious. There had to be some getting serious going on. So the first thing I did at game, when game started, was, of course, I was looking around, asking around to see if I could get myself a weapon of suitable quality to get serious with. You know? Because you gotta have an appropriate weapon for serious times, because, like, her stick isn't gonna... The wappity stick is good, but it's not gonna hurt people really that much. You gotta get, like, a hurting weapon, you know? So I was asking around the various, like, warrior people if they had any weapons that I could use, you know? And the first couple of people were like, "What, Tawney? You don't... No. You don't need a sword. You don't need a sword. You know, like, just let me handle it. You just stay over there and take a nap or something, you know." And so I asked around a couple of people, and eventually this Einhar lady, lovely Einhar lady, was like, "You looking for a weapon?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I am. Yeah, I gotta get my family back from the Fae. I gotta get a weapon, you know, so I can be threatening." She's like, "I have something," and she gives me the tag for an axe. Just a normal axe. It's just like a hand axe. And I happen to have an axe fizz rep, which is helpful. You know, the new one that I got. I don't know. It's not within arm's reach, but I have an axe, like... a Kalamazoo axe fizz rep, the Krieger, if you want to look it up. And I was like, yes! I took the tag, and I taped it on. I taped it onto the axe. And for the first 3 hours of the game, anytime there was, like, a big threat, I'd run at it with the axe. But the thing is that Tawney isn't trained in how to use medium weapons at all. Like, at all. So it swings for 0 damage because I can't use it. Like, I'm not proficient. It swings for 0 damage. And if anything hits it, like I parry with it or I block with it, if anything hits it, it counts as hitting me because I'm not proficient with it. I shouldn't be holding it, basically. So for the first 3 hours, Tawney was like running in and being like, zero normal. Things were like, what? It's looking at me like I'm a moron. NPCs are really confused. But eventually Thelonious, my Minotaur friend, looked at me and was like, "Who gave you an axe?" And I'm like, "Einhard lady?" Just pointing over my shoulder to, like, where she's sitting. And he goes, "Why? Why do you need an axe?" "I gotta rescue my family from the Fae. Get all serious business." And he's like, Tawney, just use the stick. Just go get the stick and use that. You're better at that." I'm like, "You'll see. I'll learn how to use the axe, and then I'll axe all the Fae that get in my way." Yeah. You know, like, yeah. Baseball batting it, like, I'm gonna get my family back. I'm gonna kick all the Fae butts, and I'm gonna get them. And I mean, this is all really exceptional stuff for Tawney, because like generally she's a pacifist. Like her entire worldview is sort of like as non-violent as possible. Like she's very much a like don't hurt people kind of person. So the fact that she's sort of like gearing up for war is sort of, I don't know, it means something character wise. I mean, we got attacked by lots of stuff during that game. We got attacked by goblins, minotaurs, one time a goblin riding a triceratops. What else? Winter Court Fae. Undead. Bunch of stuff. Bunch of stuff. Bears. Yeah. All kinds of things. And we got attacked by a whole bunch of different stuff. And anything except for the Fae, Tawney was like, nope, I don't want to hurt it. What do you want? You want food? I have food. I got food. Here, look. Here. I'd give him, like, stringy wolf meat or something. Goblin riding a triceratops. How is that represented? It was represented by my friend Wes playing a triceratops standing in front of a person, my friend Tammy, playing a goblin standing behind him and acting as if she is, like, riding him. You know, they're just walking like this, basically. Yeah, that's cool. And to those of you in chat asking about iron, right now, yes, iron is a Fae disadvantage. It hurts Fae and it hurts Wood Fae, yes. The thing about iron is that it deals 4 times the amount of damage. 4 times the amount of damage to, Fae than it should. So, like, if you're swinging for 2 iron, you're actually doing 8 iron to a Fae. Or you're doing 8 normal to a Fae. Tawney doesn't use iron because she's a Wood Fae, and iron makes her really uncomfortable. So she's not gonna use like an iron axe or anything. Like, she's not so intense that she'll hold her own weakness in her hand to beat up the weakness of her enemy. You know, I wouldn't describe her as intense at all, personally. But you know. My 0 damage becomes 0 hype. I know, right? Yeah, 0. Yeah, you're not supposed to use weapons that you're not proficient with. Basically, like they are 0 effectiveness. You know, like there's no like, oh, you swing it and it does 1. You know, like no, it just doesn't work. Like you can't use it. Which is to prevent people from using like the magical effects of certain weapons, even though they're not proficient, or whatever. I don't really know what the rule system is about for that, but you can't use something you're not proficient with, basically. So it was a matter of roleplay that I was, like, swinging this axe around. You know, I can't actually do anything with it. It's pointless. And eventually I left it on my bed, and I switched back to the wappity stick. But, yeah. So that's the first story.